Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Welcome, kiddos, to Real Film Nerds Podcast, episode number 272. I believe that's right. Mysterious Mike Talent, why don't you take me to bed or lose me forever?
Oh, man. How can I say no to that?
That's a good quote, right? From
It is
one
that
of
is
the
a great
best
quote.
movies ever made from 1986, Top Gun. In preparation for next week's 36-year-old? Yes, 36-year-old film we've been all waiting for. It's a hell of a long time for a sequel. We are watching or rewatching the original. Mike, how are things besides your kafert you were doing earlier?
Oh, it's okay. My son got everybody in the family sick, so we all have a cold. So I might be coughing a little bit on this. I'll try not to cough into the microphone.
And so basically Mike is coughing and farting at the same time, and they're chasing him out of his closet.
Wow, there's kind of a lot going on there.
It's a hell of a lot in that sentence, isn't there? You're with your kafart, you're in the closet with Tom Cruise and
I am in yeah.
John Travolta. Just come out of the closet. Okay. All right. I'll stop. That's a South Park episode for those of you who don't watch South Park. Mike, this week we're talking about one of the most classic films of the 80s ever, Top Gun. Why don't you give us the breakdown? And you better pronounce all these names 100% correct. You've had 36 years to pronounce them.
Well, I mean, I hope I do. Anyway, this movie was directed by Tony Scott. It was written by Jim Cash, Jack Epps Jr., Ehud Onyé, and Warren Scarron. And this movie is starring Tom Cruise, Tim Robbins, Kelly McGillis, Val Kilmer, Anthony Edwards, Tom Skerritt, Michael Ironside. And this movie is about students at the U.S. Navy's elite fighter weapons school compete to be the best in the class. One daring young pilot learns a few things from a civilian instructor that are not taught in the classroom.
Mike, I think they're talking about sex.
Oh, they might be. I don't know.
So you almost sounded like you were excited to watch this movie as you were rattling off those names, even though you got them wrong. At least one of them. It was Kelly McGillis, not McGinnis.
Oh, McGillis.
Clearly,
Sorry.
you have something on your mind.
Yeah.
What are you drinking, Mike? No.
It's a little early, Matt.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Matt, do you know what the tagline of this movie, like on the poster, was?
Well, I'm looking at the poster right now on IMDb. I can't really read it, but it says, "With the best of the rest."
It's up there with the best of the best.
Oh, I didn't see the. Okay. All right, I didn't see the little part up there. I should have clicked on it and it would have enlarged it. Yeah, up there with the best of the best.
That's fun.
You know, that's how I describe the Real Film Nerds Podcast. We're up there with the best of the best.
Yeah, man, we are.
Episode 272. So, all right, Mike, did you know that Tim Robbins was in this movie?
Yes, I did.
Only because you just read it. But no, I totally forgot he was in this movie as
Merlin.
Was it Merlin? Yeah, he's the second for Cougar.
Yeah, no, and he also flies with Maverick at the end, I think. Yeah.
Well, because, Cougar is washed out. So Goose is no longer with us. And so he goes with Merlin. I mean, sure, why not?
Yeah, no, it was cool.
And I call bullshit because there's no way in hell Tim Robbins would fit in an F-14 because, Tim Robbins is 6'4".
Well, man, as you know, those scenes were really just, I guess, blue screened or green screened, I don't know, or overlaid. I don't know what they did. Were they doing the screen stuff yet?
No, I think they were probably just doing projecting a sky image in the back, kind of like what they do with the Mandalorian, kind of like that. And they just had the little thing and the camera, and yeah.
Yeah, so it's just it was on a set, they made little cockpits. Which, Matt, I think that's canceled now, so I don't think you can call it a cockpit. I don't know I think you have to call it a flight deck.
Well, a flight deck, though, isn't that the top of the aircraft carrier? So now you're getting confusing.
No, but I mean, you can't have something that is named after a male genitalia.
Well, I'm pretty sure the cockpit isn't named after that, but sure, why not? Well, what do we call it then, Mike?
I don't know, man, but everything else is getting canceled.
Like
Matt, in your industry, can you say the master bedroom?
We're not supposed to, but I still do it.
When everything else is canceled, man. Everything's canceled, man. I'm just saying. You can't say anything.
So what do we call it? Do we call it the It Pit?
Yeah, we call it the It Pit.
It Pit. All right, got it. All right, Mike. So, yeah, they made some homemade It Pits in a studio and then probably rocked them around. They might not have even rocked them around. They made them probably rock around in them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they might have had some sort of mechanisms to some motors or something to move them sideways or something. I don't know.
Mike, when was the last time you watched this movie?
Just recently, Matt.
Well, I know that.
Well, you mean before then?
Yes.
Last year?
You watch this one at least once a year, right?
Yeah.
I fire this bitch up at least once a week.
You watch this once a week?
Dude, it's like the greatest airplane movie ever. Well, one of them. I mean, next to Planes.
Okay. Planes, the Pixar movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know you were such a fan.
I'm not. I'm just trying to make you laugh. And it's not working. It's falling flat, Mike. What is wrong with you? Are you still that sick? Do you need to do another kefert? Will that wake you up or will it put you to sleep? Because I would think that would be noxious amnesia gas.
I think it might be noxious amnesia gas. I don't know. Yeah. Once a week, man. Once a week. You just put this on while you're making breakfast every morning?
Dude, I don't take that long to make breakfast. What the hell would I be making for breakfast?
I don't know, dude. Pop-Tarts?
No. Well, if it takes me an hour and a half to make Pop-Tarts, then I got some problems. I mean, an hour and 50 minutes. Jesus. That's a long Pop-Tart. That shit'll be black and the house will be burned down by the time I'm done watching the movie. Jesus.
All right. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right, Mike. So if you were a Navy airman, what would your call sign be? Kefert?
I don't know, man. That's a good question. That's a really good question, man. Sabato.
You're going to go with your Spanish class name? Lame.
Yeah, man.
So lame.
I'll just be called Shoe.
Just Shoe. That's better. At least it's in English. I'll just call you Shoe.
Well, that would be easier to write on the helmet, and plus I could spell that, so.
True. Are you sure you can spell shoe?
I think so. I think I can.
Okay. All right. Mine would probably be something nerdy. Even though I don't wear glasses, it would probably be goggles or glasses or something to connotate being a big nerd. Or, maybe Yoda because I'm old and wise.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay,
Would
all
it
right.
be like Darth?
Darth might work. That might be okay. Or just Vader. Or just Lord. I'm okay with Lord.
Lord.
Okay, all right. So we need to talk about Top Gun, Mike. Everybody's seen this movie. What can we talk about it that people, don't know? Like the volleyball scene is the best scene ever.
Yes. Now, Matt, do you think there's a volleyball scene in the new one?
Oh, Jesus, Mike, you haven't watched the trailers?
No, dude, man, I'm trying to stay away. Well, actually, I have seen the trailers, but it's been a long time because the last time I saw it was like 2020.
Dude, I watched the trailers. I love the trailers. So no, there's not a volleyball scene. There's a beach football scene shot very much like the volleyball scene. And there are female pilots in Top Gun Maverick. So it's not going to be all guys. Because that was the one observation that I made this go around. I was looking in the background. Even in the background, there isn't one girl to be seen. It's all dudes. And no one has their shirts on except for Anthony Edwards.
Interesting.
And I'm like, why would you do that? I mean, I don't know. Whatever. To each their own, I guess. I mean, Tony Scott in the behind the scenes making of Top Gun talks that he had to channel his inner porn director to make that scene. Like, ugh. Ugh.
That's funny.
Speaking of that, porn. Mike, did you notice that everyone in this movie in almost every scene is very sweaty? Like they're very sweaty.
Dude. Yes. Very sweaty.
Why is there so much sweat? I know they invented air conditioning long before the 80s, but I guess they just don't believe in it at Top Gun. You got to sweat out the toxins from the plane? I don't know.
What I think is, I think a lot of the scenes were on a carrier, and I don't believe that air conditioning is the priority. It's the mission. And so it's hot.
Yeah, well, a lot of scenes were on a carrier, and they did shoot this legitimately at Miramar, which is no longer Top Gun anymore, which I'm sure you probably knew that, Mike.
I did. Didn't they move it somewhere else was it Northern California?
No.
They moved it. Where did they move it, man?
They moved it to Nevada. There's a base. It's been there since 1942. It's about 70 miles east of Reno, and that's where they do the Top Gun flight school. They do a lot of other training there, and it's been a really, really big naval training facility since the 40s. But do you know why they moved Top Gun up there?
No, I'm not quite sure.
Because they gave the Miramar naval station, I guess you would call it. It's a air base, but it's naval. Naval flight station, I think, is what they actually call it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. You know more about naval shit than
Naval
I do.
Air Station.
Yeah, Naval
NAS.
Air Station. They gave the Miramar Naval Air Station to the Marines. And so all the Marines flight training and stuff is out of there now. All the Navy's is up in Nevada.
Ah, okay.
And so according to the trailers, I do believe they stayed true to form, and they went and trained and shot the film up in Nevada at the new Top Gun. Or it's not new. I mean, they moved it, I think, in like the late 90s or something. I don't know.
I think they moved it shortly after the movie was made, actually.
Yeah, it was like the mid to late 90s, something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. Or, I mean, it was a while ago. So, like, it's been its current location, I think, for quite a while.
Yeah, no, it's been well over 20 years, yeah. And it was just consolidation. It just made more sense to have all the flight schools, not flight schools, but all their training in one place. Like, it's their super specialized training. Like, they even have, I think, like nuclear submarine training there that's really specialized. So, anyways, yeah, like I said, you would know more about that. You know more about the Navy stuff than I do. I'm more Air Force.
Yep. Matt, did you know that the Top Gun school imposes a $5 fine to any staff member that quotes the film?
Yes, I did, because it's on IMDb.
I find that quite amusing, and I bet that's true.
Mike, so have you ever heard of a MiG-28?
MiG-28.
Yeah. That's what they fly against in Top Gun is the MiG-28. So it's the black airplanes with the red stars.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So those are not MiG-28s. Do you know what those are?
No, I do not.
Those are F-5s. Those are American
Okay.
jets, which they still use to this day, which they still use actually for training. They have several of them painted up in, not black because no one paints their jets black. I'll get into that topic here in a minute, but they have several actually at the Yuma Air Station, painted up in, aggressive countries' colors, but it says USA and stuff on it. So like, okay, fine. They're Russian. Like they have them painted as Russian jets in their schemes because the F-5 is a very, very good simulator for an enemy aircraft. So one of the big problems that the United States has had basically since Vietnam is a lot of our fighters are almost twice the size of anybody else's. So they're big, they're fast, but they're also very hard to maneuver really well. Everyone else in the world, Russia's starting to catch on like us, but everyone else in the world has these small, nimble fighters. And so they use the F-5s, even though they've never really been used in combat because they're not great for combat. They're like a flying arrow because they're really, really fast and unstable. But they use those for training dogfighting, and that is legitimate, and they still do it today.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah. I think the F-4s they use for NASA training pilots, I think that's right.
I don't think the F-4s are pretty much grounded. F-4s are the ones from Vietnam that have the twin engines. They were big old hogs. They were really heavy and they were really fast, and they didn't even have machine guns on them.
All right. I'm trying to think. All right. I diverge.
I think you're thinking about the F-101s, which are the ones with even smaller wings than the F-5s. They look like F-5s, but their wings are even smaller and they're even longer and they go even faster.
Yeah, they have some sort of training jet that they use to train, and I think it's super fast.
Yeah, they have quite a few, and I'm pretty sure that's one of them. They probably use F-5s because F-5s are really, really fast too. But anyways, so in this film, you got to remember, this is the 80s. What was going on in the 80s, Mike? The Cold War.
Yes.
So they can't blatantly say that the jets that Top Gun and Maverick and everyone are flying against are Russians because they don't want to cause more issues. And so that's who they're implying with the red stars. But the reason why they painted them all black is to try and show that they're like the enemy. Nobody has black jets. Like nobody does. They paint them to match the sky and typically brown on the bottom. So they're usually gray or blue or whatever. But yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was
you don't want to stick out like a sore thumb?
No. But yeah, so my nephew was asking about this because he watched this film with my mom, and he was like, who are they fighting against? It doesn't make any sense. And it's like, well, technically, they're supposed to be fighting the Russians.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But Cold War, it's just like Red Dawn. In Red Dawn, they talk about the Russians, but the invasion is the Cubans.
Yes.
Same thing. I think they're just trying not to stir the pot more. Or like the updated Red Dawn. So the updated Red Dawn, which is a terrible movie starring Thor. Did you ever watch that one?
I didn't watch the new one. It was terrible?
Oh, it was terrible.
Okay. No, I didn't watch it.
So originally, they were supposed to be China. And they had to postpone the release of it because we were getting some massive tensions with China at the time. And they had to change everything digitally to Korea.
Wow.
Yep. It looks good, though. But still, it's interesting how even the political atmosphere at the time can change films.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
Okay, so are you falling asleep or are you just reading your book of dad jokes trying to find a really good one?
No. I already have one picked out. I'm good.
All right.
All right, Matt. before we get to the dad joke, why don't I ask you, what are you drinking?
Well, Mike, I got a special beer for next week's pod, but I'm not going to drink it or unveil it on this one. So I'm just going to do what I have in the fridge. I picked some of these up. They were more expensive than my High Life, but I got some Michelob Ultras.
Oh, okay. Wow. I got just a normal. It's a Sweetwater beer, and it's called G13. It's an IPA, and just a normal. Fairly normal IPA.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Well, I wanted something lighter. I wanted a good old American beer, something lighter, because it's getting hot here. I know it's not super, super hot like places some of our listeners are from, like Phoenix, but it's getting hot here, and I wanted a lighter beer. And I like my darker beers, but I can drink several of these in the sun and be okay. Okay, Mike, I know you're just clamoring because you keep looking at your book and you keep reading it over. You're finding the perfect dad joke to go with Top Gun. Mike, go ahead. What is this week's just horrible dad joke? I hope it's about flying. It has to be about flying. Come on.
I got dad jokes. I don't think they understand, though. Gotta think I'm funny. Other people never laugh, though. Dad jokes.
No, it's not about flying. Why are ghosts such bad liars?
Because they're full of sheet?
No, but that's funny. Because you can see right through them.
Mine's better. My joke was better than yours. Ha! Because you can see right through them. Oh, mine was better, though. Full of sheet. Ha!
That is funny. That is funny, man.
All right. Okay, Mike. I know this was difficult for you. You were sitting here tolling away as we were doing our pre-show stuff, jabbering. Mike, how does the 1986 film Top Gun relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
All right, Matt. Yeah, this one was a little bit tough. I had to go through quite a bit of the cast, but I got down to the art department, and art saved me again. It was Stacey McIntosh, who worked on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in construction.
Well, there's one that's a whole heck of a lot easier that was supposed to be in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, or at least people thought that it was going to be a cameo in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, but it didn't happen. I don't know if you've heard these rumors, Mike, or not, but Tom Cruise has been cast as Iron Man in Multiverse.
What?
You didn't know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, Tom Cruise originally was tried out. I don't know if they asked him to try out or if he tried out himself, but for the original Iron Man film, Tom Cruise was going to be Iron Man, or he tried out for it.
Wow. No, I didn't know that.
And so the Iron Man that they're going to have Tom Cruise do, again, this is all, I think, speculation, but pretty good speculation, is like Superior Iron Man or like Ultimate Iron Man or something from another multiverse. And it's going to be Tom Cruise, and that's going to be cool. And the rumors originally were that it was going to be, in the latest Doctor Strange, but I think it got cut is what everyone's saying.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. So you're going to have to really start looking for next week's, because Top Gun Maverick, well, I don't know. It's a modern movie. I'm pretty sure you'll find a special effects person like easy.
Yeah. I'm thinking, because it's a modern movie, there'll be some newer people that have been. Yeah. I
think you won't have a problem at all. Not at all. But I don't know. I'm stoked, man. I'm really excited for the sequel. Rewatching this, it's a 1980s film. I love the look of film. I mean, seriously, the whole opening scene on the aircraft carrier. Sure, digital looks great, but it doesn't look like that, man. I mean, that's film. That's film at its best.
Yeah, no, it's really just a big advertisement for the Navy. It was great.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what a lot of this stuff is. That's why the military is so forgiving and forthcoming with using their equipment and things is because they see it as a recruiting tool. And I'm sure you know more than a lot of people, the military is struggling right now, which is really interesting because not that long ago when my nephews were graduating from high school and stuff, one of them was trying adamantly to get into the military and they would not approve him. And now they're approving people that have his stuff. No problem. Because they're so low now.
Yeah, no, they're having some retention problems. They're having problems filling a lot of things. That's for sure.
One that still blows my mind watching all this stuff. Top Gun Maverick, Mike, was supposed to come out in 2019.
2019? I thought it was 2020.
Nope, it was originally supposed to come out in 2019. They filmed this movie a long time ago. Like 2017, 2018, I think was when they filmed it. And it was originally supposed to come out in 2019, and they didn't, but that was the year they released the very first trailer, a surprise trailer at Comic-Con by Tom Cruise, and he was there to actually talk about another movie. But instead, he put up the Top Gun Maverick trailer, the very first one.
Wow.
And ever since then, we've been sitting on it. So it was supposed to come out 2019, then 2020, then 2021. Now, the COVID was because COVID stopped it from coming out in 2020, I believe. 2021, they said, you know what? Let's go back and let's fix some stuff. And that's what kept it from coming out last year. And now it's coming out Memorial Day weekend. I'm stoked. I'm paying a lot of money to go see this movie. I am not seeing it in a normal theater. It's going to be fucking great.
Yeah, that's interesting. They went to fix it last year, but I thought they were just holding on to it because they wanted to make sure actually everyone was going back to the theaters like 100%. Like you know, with the last Doctor Strange, and you know, they really wanted people to be 100%. You know,
I'm sure that is definitely a consideration. They might just be blowing smoke up everyone's ass, saying that they went back to re-edit and they didn't reshoot anything, but re-edit and work on and do. They didn't do much CGI, according to, you know, the director, which I have to say, I like the director that's doing this. You know who the director is, right? We're talking about next week's movie, but fuck it.
No, I don't know who the director is. I know Tony Scott passed away.
Yeah, it's Joseph Kosinski, the guy that did Oblivion, and tie to the Prescott area. He did the movie about the Hot Shots, Only the Brave. That's his other real big hit that he did as well.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, he was the one that they actually went and pursued him and asked him if he would direct it. So he did, Only the Brave, Oblivion, and Tron Legacy are his three big ones before Maverick, what he's most known for.
Okay. Oblivion was awesome.
It was. I thought that movie was very, very good. One of these days we will get down to doing Only the Brave. We've talked about it a little bit. It's still tough for me to watch. I do own it on Blu-ray, but we'll get to it. You know, it is the movie that's about our boys here in Prescott. So, but we'll get to it. You know, maybe this year, maybe we'll do it on the anniversary. I don't know. That anniversary is coming up right around the corner. Possibly, maybe next year. I don't know. I don't know if I feel up to it quite yet. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, all right, Mike. So we didn't really talk much about the movie. I don't know how much we would talk about the movie. It's been around forever. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. It's fun. I like it a lot. Top Gun's awesome. It's a classic. Everybody needs to go watch it. Mike, how many reels do you give it?
I give Top Gun 5 out of 5 reels.
See, Mike, for once we're in agreement. I also give it 5 out of 5 reels because this is a must-watch for me. It really is. Now, here's a shocker, Mike. Ma Hinshaw, which you will hear her interview at the end of this, she gave it 4.5.
Okay. Well, she's seen it since the beginning.
She saw it in the theaters. Yep. According to my ma, she saw it in the theaters. I don't know where I was. Probably at home, pooping my diapers or something. But she saw it in the theaters.
Nice. Very nice.
So, but do you know why she only gave it 4.5?
'Cause Goose died?
No. That's one I should have talked about. That's one thing you don't get in these modern movies too much. I mean, MCU does it, but you never get like a somewhat main character like having something really major happen like that, like the death of his friend or whatever. You don't get that a whole lot anymore. The MCU does it every now and then, but it was, because that drastically changed the mood and the feeling of the whole movie. I mean, here it is, Top Gun. You think he's going to be the best. He's going to win the award and everything. And nope, his best friend dies, and it changes the tone of everything.
Yeah, no, it did. I mean, Iceman was even almost nice to him.
Yeah, right. So the reason why my mom gives it 4.5 is because it's not about the Air Force. It's about the Navy.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So for those of you who do not know, I come from an Air Force family. I am an Air Force brat. My father wanted to be a pilot. I have always wanted to be a pilot. My dad's problem is that he has to wear glasses, and really thick glasses, his whole life. My problem is I am way too tall.
Yeah, it would be real difficult to get in these jets.
Yeah. Dude, I've ridden in some small planes, and I have a very difficult time getting in those sumbitches. So anyways, all right, Mike is quickly falling asleep because he's done with his segment of the dad joke, so now he doesn't care anymore. He's checking out. Did you fart again?
No. I've held it back, man.
Okay, good. I'm just worried, man. I'm worried you might like pass out or something, or if something happens, I'm getting on the phone. I'll plug it into the computer so we can record the call, but I'll call Mags. I'll be like, Mags, he did it again. He farted so bad, he passed himself out. He's in the closet. Go get him. Look, it was so funny. Mike coughed his brains out.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
You're welcome, Mike. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're feeling bad, but I understand. I'm pretty tired from not sleeping enough, so this probably isn't our greatest podcast. But hey, you know what? It's a great movie. People don't need to listen to this. Go watch Top Gun. Go watch the new one. I'm really looking forward to it. I paid $20 a ticket to go see it at a Dolby certified Atmos blah, blah, blah theater. So I'm really stoked about that.
Oh, awesome, dude. And that'll sound wonderful. And then, one thing we'll mention real quick is this is streaming on Netflix. If you have Netflix, if you're not one of the 800 million people who canceled, yep, you can watch it on that.
Yeah, dude, people from Netflix, they're struggling. Netflix is struggling. But yeah, so I own it. I own it in 4K UHD, HDR, all that jazz. So I didn't need to watch it on Netflix. But for those of you who don't own it, it is on Netflix in high definition. So, all right, next week, can't wait. Top Gun Maverick. Mike, why don't you do your thing so you can go to sleep and heal up and get feeling better and go watch this movie?
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Make sure you follow us on the socials, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or Meta, or whatever it's called. And go out there, stream a movie, go watch Top Gun Maverick this week, and catch us on the next pod. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.
He's in. Matt Henshaw from The Real Film Nerds podcast. Good morning on Magic 99.1. How are you?
Man, you just roll right in after giving me just devastating news. I don't know how I'm going to be cheery, Lisa.
You're going to be just fine seeing the new Top Gun show by yourself. I'm sure you can find a friend that will go with you, can't you?
I'll go get a homeless man or something. I'll be like, sir, you want to come into the air conditioning for a couple hours?
Well, that would be a nice thing to do.
That'd be a nice thing,
That'd
right?
be a nice thing. Yeah, do it. How you doing, Matt?
I'm okay.
You're okay.
No, I'm terrible. My team lost on Saturday.
Your team lost. Which team is that?
The Rattlers.
Oh, the Rattlers. Okay, well, my team lost this weekend too, so let's not talk about it.
Okay. Let's talk about your favorite movie of all time.
Let's talk about Top Gun. Now, you're reviewing a movie that we all already give a 10 to.
A 10?
10 out of 5.
It only goes to 5.
Yeah, well, we're giving it a 10. We love Top Gun, and so I don't know what more you can tell us.
Okay, I'm out. Thanks, everybody. Have a good week.
You have to give it 5 reels, right?
I have to?
Yes.
Is that a requirement?
Well, I'd be surprised if you didn't.
Oh, okay.
And you probably wouldn't have a spot on the show anymore.
Okay. Hold on. Let me change my notes.
No, really, what do you give it?
Already? We're not even going to talk about the movie
We
at
all
all?
seen the movie. The movie's been around
Not
for
everybody.
how many years? 20 years? 25 years?
No.
30?
32.
2 years? Holy smokes. Time flies when you're having fun.
1986.
That's the year I graduated from high school. Don't you sit there and do the math. Stop it right now.
Okay.
But yeah.
I will stop.
It was a good year. It was a
Yes,
really,
ma'am.
really good year. So, yeah, I mean, we've all seen it several times. What can
Okay.
you tell us that's new than we don't already know?
You know, one thing I just noticed rewatching it,
Yeah,
the volleyball scene, our favorite scene
Yes.
collectively.
right?
I never noticed this before. There is not a female in sight.
No,
There's
nowhere.
not a girl in the seats. There's not a anywhere. There's a 57 Chevy parked in the background
Yeah.
and a whole bunch of half-naked men. And I'm just trying to
That's
figure
bizarre.
out, like, why would they...
That's
Well,
funny. I
all I
bet
gotta-
that's different this time around.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
I got to say is the 80s.
Yeah, the 80s. Well, I'm just surprising.
Well, I could tell you, Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
You know, I've been watching trailers and behind the scenes stuff and people
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
The trailers do not show a volleyball scene.
No.
They show
There's got to be a
an
volleyball
on
scene.
the beach football game scene.
Oh, well, that won't be the same, will it?
And I don't know. It's not. I don't think so. Maybe it'll have the flavor, hopefully, of
Yeah.
Tony Scott's volleyball scene.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's definitely not going to be the same because there are female pilots this go around.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that's
So-
good. Thank goodness for that.
And you know, a lot of people don't know this, but the film does not take place during Top Gun. All the students are out of Top Gun and graduated already.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
So that's how Maverick is involved, or at least that's kind of the theories, is that he is coming in as like a special super duper training course
Aha.
for these top aviators of the Navy.
The elite.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, go ahead. Tell me how many reels you give the original,
The original Top Gun?
Yeah.
All right. Should I make my way towards the door so I
Are
don't
you
get
really
punched?
going to give it less
No,
than 5?
Of course I give it 5. I love
Okay.
that movie.
All right. I was
That movie
concerned.
is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's a classic. For sure.
I love aviation to begin with.
Yeah.
This might have been a contributing factor to that. It was
There you
probably
go.
mostly my upbringing. You know,
Yeah.
I was brought up in an Air Force family, so I've always loved airplanes.
Right.
If those of you have never seen me, I don't fit in small spaces well.
Okay.
So that is why I never became a pilot. I would love to be, but I
Right.
just don't fit in airplanes well.
Well, they
So-
just need to make bigger ones.
They do. They do. I'm writing a letter.
Okay.
Dear Lockheed.
Let's give Ma Hinshaw a call and see if she agrees with everything you just said. That's coming up here on Magic 99.1.
Hello.
Good morning, Ma Hinshaw. It's Lisa and Matt calling on Magic. How are you?
I have a need for speed.
Yes, you do, Ma Hinshaw. I'm so happy to talk to you this morning. Did you see the original Top Gun back in 1986 when I saw it?
Yes, I did.
Yes. And did you rewatch it this weekend?
I really did.
Yeah, again and again and again.
Just one particular scene.
Oh, just one scene in particular. I just love volleyball.
I know. I love volleyball too. Yeah, we have that in common, Ma and Shaw. I love it. So, are you looking forward to the new Top Gun as much as Matt and I are?
Yes, I am. I'm really curious to see if they do as good a job as the first one.
Yes. And do you think
I
they will?
really wonder. I think they will, yes.
Yeah. I mean, why remake? Why have a sequel if you don't?
That's true. And, you know, Tom Cruise, he's still a wild and crazy guy, just like the pilot.
Yeah.
And Val Kilmer is still there to be Iceman. I think it will be really good. I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. Is Kelly McGillis in this one?
No.
No, she's not. Okay.
No, they didn't even reach out to her.
They
and
didn't.
It's actually a little bit of a controversy. Yep.
Oh, yeah, because
Oh,
come on.
really?
Why wouldn't they? Because she's older.
I guess I don't know,
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's
they
Hollywood.
got Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we like Jennifer Connelly. All right. Okay. Well, how many?
I don't know.
You don't know. How many cookies are you going to give the original Top Gun, Ma?
4.5.
What? What?
She's not my mom.
4.5
I don't do
cookies?
5 much.
No. Well,
I'm not.
I gave it a 10, Ma. I gave it a 10 out of 5.
Oh, really? really? Oh my gosh.
It's one of my
Oh, well.
favorites. Yeah.
10 microphones, right?
10 microphones. That's it. That's it. All right. So I can't wait to hear your thoughts on the brand new Top Gun Maverick. It's coming out on Thursday night. Are you going to go see it Thursday night? Midnight movie? Perhaps.
Well, I don't think I could stay awake for midnight movie, but I will go see it on Thursday, I hope.
Okay, very
We're
good.
going to try and make it.
Okay,
Yeah.
fingers crossed that we all love it. Thank you for checking in with us this morning.
On Magic 99.1.
You got it, girl. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so Ma gave it 4.5 cookies.
I don't know where that came from.
Right, she's your mother.
Well, I know. I don't know about that anymore. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's because it's Navy and not Air Force.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah,
possibly.
She's,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still an amazing aviation film.
Yeah.
I think the sequel, which we will be reviewing next week, I guess you call it a sequel. I mean, everyone's calling it a sequel.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but it kind of isn't. It's more of a separate story on its own.
Right.
But one of the reasons why Tom Cruise pushed for it and agreed to even do it is because he feels the technology finally caught up to where the original one should have been.
Okay.
He really wants to have the cameras in the actual cockpit, and they do. Like every single flying scene in here is real. It is not CG.
It's going to make us feel like we're actually in the plane. Oh, it's going to be awesome.
A lot of the behind the scenes stuff, a lot of the actors, much like myself probably, literally every day when they had flying scenes, had to evacuate their stomachs.
Oh,
is a nice way to put it.
Yeah,
like,
throw up.
No matter
vomit.
what. Every day. Like they didn't
Purge.
get used to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, would you? I don't think you do.
Well, fighter pilots do.
Yeah. Well, that's why they are the elite few.
Right.
Matt.
That's true.
That's
true.
Awesome. All right. I can't wait to talk to you next week. We won't talk on Monday because it's Memorial Day. How about we talk on Tuesday?
Okay, I'll try to remember.
All right, we'll talk on Tuesday. Check out the podcast. It's called The Real Film Nerds. Matt, thanks for coming in.
Lisa, thank you as always.
You're welcome.